Deduce who's in your team and who are the pretenders. Find the right treasures for your team to win in Riverbed Hunt.
And today we'll be teaching you how to play Riverbed Hunt, game designed by Jan Theo and Christopher Vassiliou and published by Odd Statue Games.
And hello everyone, it's Stella.
And Taryn from Meeple University.
Now, let's go to the classroom.
Riverbed Hunt is a hidden role game in which players take on the roles of 3 different factions of Tritons, trying to make their fortune or achieve their objectives in this hidden river. Players will swim around the river and dive to have a peek at the elements beneath, before relying on the other players to flip the tiles and reveal the various treasures. The merchants are looking for kelp. The separatists want to block up the river with logs, while the profiteer will be looking for money, and whichever faction reaches the goal first will be the winner. To set up, you'll need to know your player count. First, set up the hidden role Triton cards. You'll always use these 3 special roles: the Chief Merchant, Separatist Leader, and Profiteer. Then go back and forward, adding first a Merchant and then a Separatist until you have as many cards as your player count. Shuffle the cards up and deal 1 to each player. The exception is at 4 players. Here you'll use a Chief Merchant, a Merchant, and the Separatist Leader. You'll shuffle the Profiteer and 1 Separatist together, using only 1 of these cards at random. Place the other one to the side unseen, and then shuffle the remaining 4 cards. Players look at their own Triton cards without revealing them, with the exception of the Chief Merchant. Chief Merchant reveals the card face up, and the player to the Chief Merchant's left will be the first player. Look through the ability cards and remove any which don't match your player count. Then shuffle the rest into a face-down stack. Using this section on page 3 of the rulebook, find all of the numbered tiles used in your player count. Shuffle them up and put them face down on the main board. At anything less than 7 players, you'll have some spaces left on the board. And the rulebook's variations section includes different options for where to leave those gaps. Lay out the trackboard and place the 3 markers at 0. These small numbers represent the win conditions for each of the 3 teams at different player counts. For example, at 6 players, the merchants would need 7 kelp, the separatists would need 4 logs, and the profiteer would need 7 coins. Give each player a set of 3 different action cards. These should all be flipped so that all stones depicted on them are beige, and a matching coloured Triton meeple and refresh marker. Then, starting with the first player and going clockwise, each player chooses a starting tile for their Triton meeples, and players can choose the same tile as another player. You're now ready to play. Riverbed Hunt is played in turns, starting from the first player and going clockwise around the table, until one of the 3 teams meets its victory condition. On your turn, you must take 1 action out of the 4 available on your action cards. You may also optionally spend your refresh token to refresh, and may optionally play an ability card from your hand, and you can do these in any order. When you swim, you resolve the swim action and flip the card face down, and likewise when you dive, you resolve the effect and flip the card face down. Neither of these cards may be used when in the face down position. You'll need to take a refresh effect before they're available again. This may be done either by flipping your refresh marker face down to flip one of these 2 actions face up. This can be done once per game. Or by taking the co-op or uncover action. Once you've finished that action, it automatically refreshes both swim and dive. You can take the co-op action as many times as you want. You can only take the uncover action once per game. At that point, you flip this card face down. You're never allowed to use uncover again, but you can still use co-op. Whichever side this card is on, it still lets you refresh, swim and dive. With the swim action, you must spend either 1 or 2 movement steps to move your Triton meeple around the river. Moving along the river's flow path, one step orthogonally to the next tile costs 1 step. Jumping over a land barrier to an orthogonally adjacent tile costs 2 steps. And moving in either direction between an empty space and an orthogonally adjacent tile along the river costs 0 steps. You cannot finish your movement on an empty space, so you must take this option in order to move and finish on a tile. For example, yellow from here could spend 2 steps to move to here and would need to take the free step to move to an adjacent tile. Any number of tritons may share a tile. To finish your action, draw 1 ability card into your hand. If you end your turn with more than 3 ability cards, discard down to 3. The dive action allows you to look at what is printed on a face-down tile within your reach. Choose either the tile you're standing on or the next tile either upstream or downstream of you on the river. If you're on one of the ends of the river, you'll have fewer tiles to choose from. Secretly look at what's written on the tile without showing it to the other players and return it to the place you took it from. Co-op and uncover are the core actions of the game. This is how you'll reveal tiles and score the treasures, which hopefully help your team. Uncovering gives you a lot of control, but you can only do it once per game. When you uncover, you must discard 1 ability card from your hand as part of the cost of the action. Then choose 1 face-down river tile, which is within your reach. Again, that means your current tile or the next tile upstream or downstream, and flip the tile face up. If you choose co-op, then you must choose one of the other players, preferably one that you trust, or one who is in a location which you know to be beneficial to your own team. It's now that other player that you chose who chooses 1 tile within their own range and flips it face up. Then, as a reward for your trust, draw 1 ability card. When a river tile is flipped from face down to face up, resolve all of its icons from top to bottom. When you see kelp, logs, or coins, simply advance the matching markers. Here you would first move the logs 1 step and then the kelp 2 steps. If you flip a tile with text, then resolve that text. If any team reaches its win condition as a result of resolving this, then the game ends immediately and that team is the winner. Be sure to resolve the tiles in the correct order. In this case, the separatists reach their target before the profiteer reaches its. You can play at most 1 ability card per turn by revealing it from your hand, resolving its effect and discarding it. Many of these cards give you more powerful versions of the existing actions, and often require you to choose other players to share in those benefits with you. However, many of these cards allow you to disrupt the board and the resources which have already been found. Here, for example, with Lose Track, you would choose 1 face-up tile and 1 face-down tile adjacent to you. You flip the face-up tile back to face-down, and doing this reduces any resources on it back down on their tracks. You then shuffle those 2 tiles together and place them back down randomly, so nobody knows where the tile you flipped back down is now sitting. Delusion lets you find an adjacent face-up and face-down tile and flip them both to their opposite sides. With Misdirection, you choose all the face-down tiles in a single row or column and shuffle them up, meaning that some players will lose information that they've spent a lot of time gaining. These actions and more will give players the flexibility to try to peg back the progress of the opposing teams and try to deduce each other's roles. In addition to having a numbers advantage at some player counts, the merchants have the benefit that they always know one of their friendly merchants. To balance this out, the Separatist leader and the Profiteer each have special abilities, the Hunt and the Con. Once per game, when targeted by another player's co-op, the Separatist leader may reveal their roll card and discard 1 ability card from hand to begin the hunt. The Separatist leader reveals and resolves 1 tile within reach as normal. Then if that tile has the hunt icon in its top left corner, then the separatist leader reveals and resolves another tile, this time from anywhere on the board. If this too has a hunt icon, then you'll hunt again. And continue going until you flip a tile which does not have the hunt icon. Once you've resolved this tile, if the game is not over, the chief merchant gets to resolve the hunt penalty. That player chooses any one tile which has a log on it and flips it back over to the face down side, reducing the corresponding resource tracks as normal. In this way, the hunt always gives the separatists a way of winning the game instantly. If the separatist leader, or the separatists as a whole, can gather enough information about where the hunt tiles lie, then a highly profitable hunt will resolve in victory. Do note as well, the separatist leader can voluntarily stop the hunt at any time, meaning they stop trying to flip up tiles, and would not suffer the chief merchant's hunt penalty as a result. Note as well that the entire hunt sequence is considered part of the same co-op action, meaning it cannot be interrupted by other actions or ability cards. The Profiteer's con is triggered in much the same way. It's triggered when the Profiteer is targeted for co-op by another player, and the Profiteer must reveal card and spend one ability card from hand. The Profiteer now reveals one tile within range as normal for a co-op action, and then one additional tile from anywhere on the board. Continue playing and flipping and resolving tiles in specific order until one team has reached its win condition, and that team will be the winner. And that's how to play Riverbed Hunt. This was a prototype copy of the game, so the rules and components may not be final, and do check out the project page for the game. We'll put a link to that in the description below.
Thanks so much for watching. Your like and comments are much appreciated. Subscribe to see what's coming and let us know what games you've been playing. See you next time.